What's up, kids? Blacky Black Metal back again. Yeah, man. So, I kind of OD'd on some Avenged Sevenfold over the past week and weekend. Today, it was really bad, and I'm apologizing to my Twitter followers for tweeting a piece of heaven like how many times a day. I don't even know how many times I tweeted. Was talking different stuff about this. I mean, great song, love the band. But it just got to a point where I was just had overdone it, and it got out of character, totally out of character stuff here. I was really thinking some really pusillanimous thoughts because of this particular song, so I had to metal it back up a little bit here. No offense, I love Avenged. No, just saying. It can, like I was saying, I kind of OD'd on it and got to a point where I had burned through all the albums that are available. What else? Yeah, it was just one of those things. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. It just is the kind of music that makes you think about life transition and all kind of, oh my God, headache shit. Stuff you don't just God, who wants to sit and think about that for fun? Really though, you sit and think about that when you're filling out a questionnaire for life insurance, something like that. That's when that's appropriate. You shouldn't do that in your spare time. But either way, great band, absolutely beautifully written song. I don't know who actually wrote this song, but it was a great song. But regardless, so I had to mail it back up with some In Flames. One of the very first Swedish metal bands I've ever heard in the early 2000s, late 90s. Just a Race was playing as I got my tattoo back in. If you can, I'm kind of black, so it's kind of hard to see it, but it's a totally wicked pentagram with the demon skull. And as I was getting this tat done, I think I was 19 at the time, Just a Race was playing, and I didn't know that was the name of the album at the time, so I'm asking the dude, I think his name's Kobe Long, if he's out there, way metal, absolutely great tat artist. He was like, yeah, this is In Flames here. And I'm like, In Flames, man, this is awesome. I listen to death metal and black metal and shit. But anyway, it was something different. I had never quite heard this type thing, Swedish style, melodic shit like this. It's really great. Of course, this is early In Flames. This is Just a Race. I heard this ugly rumor that I think kind of turned out to be true. In around maybe 2005, 2006, that they were trying to more or less sound more like Korn. They had heard a Korn record or seen Korn perform somewhere in Scandinavia, and they were just so taken by Korn that they wanted to be oh my God, it was awful just to think of. In Flames is one of the sickest bands ever. Why the hell would they ever want to sound like Korn? Don't get me wrong, Korn, image-wise, it was good stuff for kids. It was, a coming-of-age thing for most of us metalheads. We listened to that kind of thing because it was an image thing. In high school, if you listen to bands like that, people thought you were just so, extreme, or you was just evil or whatever. And it was an attention getter kind of thing. If you listen to every metalhead, young metalhead probably listen to that kind of shit. But anyway, In Flames altogether, come on, man. Everybody knows. I posed this question to most of my followers. Exactly what album did it get to the point where In Flames kind of trailed off? They got to a point where they didn't do this whole melodic death kind of thing sound, They started to kind of sound like an American radio metal kind of band. Even when they were trying to do it, they still had elements in there good guitar, dual guitar shit, or drums that would, they still maintain that Swedish metal kind of sound. They still couldn't quite, but at the same time, I didn't listen any further than shit. What was the last album I really listened to? What was it? The one with Another Story on it. What was the name of it? What was the name of the? Was it Another Story? What was the name of that song? Anyway, it was that In Flames album with that on it, with that particular song on it. Y'all metalheads and In Flames fans know what I'm talking about. When I say Another Story, I want to say, is it Another Story's name of the song? Absolutely sick video with a whole lot of flashing and footage, old school war footage, that kind of thing. But anyway, it was a really good album. But that was around the time I kind of, didn't start or didn't keep following In Flames. But to my followers, as I was saying, what album did they kind of switch up on? Like, I honestly asked that question seriously. Like, I feel like it would have been the album after that particular one in question I was talking about. God, what is the fucking, I'm gonna think of the name of it after I do the video, of course. But anyway, I'm sure most of you agree, like, In Flames is one of the sickest, like, Swedish bands ever, alongside Soilwork. What's another good Swedish? There's tons of them. God, man, tons of Century Media bands at that. Well, Arch Enemy, but not like this kind of Well, Arch Enemy does kind of have this kind of quality about it, but not quite like In Flames kind of. I guess. Well, obviously they're two different bands, but as you know what I mean when I say like Swedish metal. Dark Tranquillity. That's what I was trying to think of. Absolutely sick Swedish metal band. I love Dark Tranquillity. But anyway, feels good. Oh, I had to get some metal back flowing there. Like I was saying, I was thinking all this. Oh God, very non-metal thoughts. Very not proud of myself. But anyway, In Flames, as you can see, is a really, really sick Swedish metal band. What more can I really say about them? Really good videos, I'll say that. Look them up on the internet there on your YouTubes. And any random, like, well, I would say most of the good stuff would be from, like I was saying, late 90s, early 2000s. Absolutely sweet metal. You would absolutely love it. I kind of feel like this is the kind of thing maybe I need to head more into. Like, I got to a point, the whole Avenged thing, like I was saying before, I started listening to them in 05 or 06 just because it was like something that kind of was, there in the middle. You know how you meet people in like death metal or black metal comes off as a little too strong because it's totally not something that they've ever heard before or even remotely interested in necessarily hearing, because it stems from some kind of emotion that you have that you would even listen to that. That's what I feel like a lot of us metalheads, we got to sit down and like talk. I hate to be a shrink to everybody, but that's kind of what it is. The whole wanting to hear like the blackest or most brutal black metal or death, it's just kind of like that's how you feel. So I guess what happened is that I got to a point where I'm just kind of not really that pissed off anymore. I guess I'm getting older. I just get to a point where I'm just like some of the stuff I'm listening to is just not as brutal as it would have been, say, when I was 22 or something like that. It just, I don't know. You get to a point where you just kind of can accept music for what it is, just because the days of the music needing to uphold some kind of image, or it's done. You're an adult, so it doesn't matter. Get your ass in line, get up and go to work. Like that's it. Like you get to a point where that little pissed off identity thing that you were doing in school is just kind of you're an adult now. What is the point? Like it just, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of waxing mental about that kind of thing. It just kind of struck me as odd that I got so taken with that kind of thing for a little bit there. But anyway, In Flames, absolutely sweet Swedish metal band. Check them out. Jester Race, what is it? Black Ash Inheritance is the first album, I think. Start there and just work your way towards now. You'll meet the point that I'm talking about. You'll meet the point where they're like more Korn and more like American radio metal style shit. You'll run into that point. But go ahead and start with Jester Race. Work your way towards now. You'll absolutely love the metal. It is absolutely great. Like I said, tons of great Swedish, Finnish love metal shit. Like I already did a little video about. Well, no, I didn't. I did. It was more about Avenged, and then I mentioned love metal and love metal bands or whatever. So I need to go ahead and do a love metal video eventually. But anyway, for all you metalheads that are coming of age, like myself, you know, you're growing pubes and starting to smell funny and everything. Make sure you check out this kind of shit. Some In Flames, nice melodic Swedish metal. Blacky black metal, also known as Count Negroff Storm Thrasher. I love all of you, and I mean that from the deepest, darkest reaches of my black heart.